Hello. Uh, hello, check. I'm gonna do this video for some guildies. I think I made a Warlock 12, Bard 6, Wizard 2. And it's a Storm Singer, Bard. And then the Warlock part is, I think, the Cold Warlock, the Carceri Storm. And what did I do? I did a half elf for the dragonmark for lightning. All right, I guess we'll start there on the enhancements tree to go through all that. You know, since I got completion or whatever, I have a lot of points that I got to spend in racial trees anyway. So I ended up taking the feat for the dragon marks, the dragon mark of the storm. And I still didn't even take it up to power of the storm. But regardless, that's where, you know, you get more dragon marks, and then you can call lightning storm so many times during your adventuring. Now, the Storm Singer 6, their random shocks start at level 3 already. So I'm hovering over that right now. I hope you can see. This is the Storm Singer Bard tree. There's 26 points in here. 26 action points. And it says right on there, the lightning strike, your sonic and cold spells have a 20% chance to cause a massive lightning strike. It gets its damage upgraded as it goes. Like, you could do the next tier for level 6 says Enhance Bolt 1, then Enhance Bolt 2, and then Enhance Bolt 3. The Master of Storms also upgrades that random cold strike and your charisma and Evo DCs. So, I mean, right, even though this deals lightning, you can also get SLAs out of here for more cold spells or more sonic spells if you want. I didn't run it that way. I took most of the cold and sonic spells I took from as a spell, except for the shout up here. I think there's like a snowball storm you get out here too that would do it. But any way you look at it, how do I explain this? You're using a lot of different spell types. Cold, elemental, sonic, electricity, and on the warlock side, I'm even using force. Okay, I'm pretty sure that the Eldritch Blasting is not triggering this because I am Carceri Storm. That means I'm doing a cold blast with my Eldritch Blasting, but it's not triggering. It doesn't count as a spell there. But no big deal. Sometimes during combat, I'll just switch off to using cold and my sonic spells down here, reverberation, um, sonic blast, and there's that SLA shout. But the main thing is using. Switch over to wizard here. We'll get into that in a minute, how to play it, but my take, I guess, you don't have to do this. Right? I have 2 levels of archmage, or 2 levels of wizard. I didn't even take anything in it because I get an extra feat, an extra wizard casting feat, which I used on a meta magic. You know, boy, this is hard to explain all this. I just made this build just to be completely random. And I don't know if that would be the best way for someone who's newer to the game to play and understand. Through gear and through all those chances to proc different effects, that's the whole reason of why being a warlock. I mean, when I only have chain loaded, but this counts as when it jumps, it counts as being 2 more spells, which there's no real way for you to cast that fast anyway with cooldowns. So what I'm doing is raising the chance for everything else to accidentally go off. And then boosted by the electrical, the call lightning storm, which is always going to go off on its own for a minute or whatever. I don't even know how long it is. We'll see how long it is when I go outside and myth Draenor to the Slayer area in a bit. Okay, so that's one thing that could just be going off by itself. The lightning storm strike from this is it hits whatever it wants, whatever's close to you. And you don't even have to really worry about it, but on the downside, you don't really know where it's going. There's no way to control it. Okay. The whole reason, other than making a chain to proc the other things that I do, is from the warlock. And I boosted that up for my pack dice or whatever, Eldritch Blasting dice, just so that I can always just basically hold down my button and hit stuff. Hold down the attack button on my mouse. So the other side, the other good thing about the warlock is the Tainted Scholar is you're gaining 10% spell critical damage at level 3, and then at level 12 a 20% spell critical damage for all the spells. Doesn't matter if you're a warlock or Stormsinger spells or anything. Okay? So just hovering over the base for all of those spells, the crit multiplier is high. 108 for cold percent, Extra damage. Spell crit multiplier. Cold. Okay, electric is 93. Sonic is 93. Force is 93. That's what. Those are the two main things that I enjoy about this: proc chance and getting those spell critical base multipliers up high. Um, as well as obviously getting the evocation DC up and the crit chance on those spells. Cold is at 67%. Like 2 out of the 3 cold spells that I cast are gonna be a crit. As long as whatever I'm attacking fails the evocation save, usually for half damage on some of them. Okay, so cold's at 67, electric's at 62, force is only at 39, but the only real force spell I have is from Everard's Tentacles. Um, the last one, Sonic, is lower. It's only at 26%. Not even 1/3. More like one quarter. Like if I cast 4 Sonic based spells, only 1 out of the 4 is gonna have a crit roll available. So that's the thing. I didn't even worry so much about doing Sonic as my primary damage type. Although I could have gone into the other Sonic warlock, and then my Eldritch Blast would have been Sonic and force damage for its base strike. So there you go. It's hard to. Yeah, I mean that's where it gets hard. The more spell damage types that you have, the harder it is to fit it into gear. But this was fine for me. You could make this just a straight spell singer, but you got to be aware of the other things. Now, my my sort of twist for more random stuff is also based on gear. So I don't know. We'll just look at this page here and finish it up. I didn't even go into the Archmage. What's also nice about the Archmage tree, like I'm not undead, um, is that they're when you boost over here for their spell criticals, it's for electric, fire, force, acid, all the elemental types, and force. So, on this build, because I'm not undead, it would be beneficial to go into there if I had the points, or like if you did not have all those points available to dump over here in the elf tree, that'd be another way to boost that critical chance for electric, cold, force damage. You're mostly only going to get those boosts out of here. And look, the Storm Singer doesn't even boost critical chance for Sonic anyway. See that? I don't like how they did that, but if they're gonna make this lightning strike coming off of Sonic, and they're gonna offer SLAs with Sonic in there, then I think that their crit chance should also include Sonic in there. It's kind of like the Bard's unique spell power or unique spell damage type, Sonic. But, you know, it is what it is. It's weird, though, that I mean, and like I said, Archmage, they allow Force in there. Okay, another option is to get the Force. Use the Force, Luke. You can get Force out of Feydark Illusionist. But it's not a whole line like that. Right, I didn't have that many illusion-based spells, but the other thing I like about it is it's got spell penetration in here. And so does the Archmage. Look at all that. Spell pen. And half elf also has Arcanum in there. Their racial tree. On the other side of the Soul Eater Warlock, Taint the Aura drops spell resistance. I mean, a debuff spell resistance. If you have Consume on them. So you could really make a good solid holder out of these trees, which is not even, you know, what I went into. I'm just explaining, I guess, rambling. As I tend to get older, I just ramble. As I get older, I tend to just ramble. So, but there's nothing, you know, depends on your, there's nothing that, sort of prohibits you from taking these ideas and just expanding on them. Like, even a straight Storm Singer Bard up to level 20 doesn't have to be it could just be that and still have fun. You know, I just made this to be completely random as possible. The problems with playing it are it's an aggro magnet. Uncontrollable aggro. Like, so, and I think I've gone over this before on earlier videos. I'm still wearing a level 26 Veil of Twilight Greensteel set, which is boosting, I think it's a 29% boost to spell critical multiplier on every spell. That's why the rest of them, like repair and negative, are at 83% base already. What's so nice about that is it boosts light and negative spell crit multipliers without having to take a feat, and it boosts everything. I can't put it down if I want to go do big damage. It's just, I know it's only level 26 minimum, but there they are, the 5 pieces. And then the side bonus is I get a bunch more hit points, and I also there's the Ender's effect. which has been triggering off of. It's been triggering off of this greater dragonmark of the storm, and it's also been triggering off the chain by itself. As long as the mob's got less than 5,000 hit points, it gets a finger of death on occasion, right? Something else I can't control. Okay, the other piece of gear that I've been using at this level is this attuned Morning Star from the Isle of Dread. I've loaded it with a Melt Fang, and that's doing the equivalent of extra acid damage and whatever else. I don't even know what the hell else I put on here. It's crazy nuts. So even on the chain, when I chain with what am I gonna do? Augment item. Then you can see what exactly they all are. The bright scale is giving a +9 enhancement bonus to spell pen. You could make it exceptional if it was a quarterstaff. You get a +2 exceptional bonus to spell DCs. However, I don't like to use the quarterstaff because my orb is also something that's got its own slots. You know, I like to have be a 2-weapon fighter or an orb and a whatever other weapon, just because it's 2 items instead of 1 that you can boost up without, you know, being trapped with just one. It better be so damn powerful for me to take it. But that's just me. You don't have to do that. Spark Claw is giving an exceptional bonus to charisma. The aspect of Tar, when I get hit, no, attacks and offensive spells have a chance to summon Tar oozes. This Meridian Fragment, it gives you a small psionic bonus to universal spell power if I get hit. Okay, that's like if you get hit. And the Diamond of the Magi, insight bonus to maximum spell points. For the orb, I'm using this even though it has combustion on it to get kinetic spell power and to get the kinetic lower 22%. And that's just for Eldritch Blasting and Evert's Black Tentacles. The 2 rings are actually the Bound Elemental Ring of Frost, Mind and Matter set, or Chained Elemental set, and the Elemental Ring of Lightning. Okay, that's giving you your spell power and your lore in one set. And like I said, I mean, if I have 4 primary spell types, that's the whole reason while I'm wearing that lesser, what is it, level 29 set. Okay. The artifact is the Perfected Dragon's Eye. Quality, charisma, and magical efficiency, and whatever exceptional universal spell power. the main set is from, like, armor. The 3-piece set is from, it's not even from Miss Draenor, if there is one. I don't even start farming gear out there. This is a legendary walking ancestor shroud from Isle of Dread. And it's echoes of the walking ancestors to get artifact bonus to spell DCs and to all ability scores. And whatever the heck else is on it. Charisma, spell focus, mastery. You know, so I have basically 2 pieces are from the legendary Dread Isles curse set that aren't even part of a set because I don't have enough to wear it. So I'm losing profane ability scores here, and profane spell DCs off of this. And to counteract that -2, I think I did the Epic Litany of the Dead gem. That's it. I could do some more boosting here. The Topaz of Evocation power is given a +6 anyway to evil. If I really wanted to, you know, tweak some more. Topaz of Augmented Summoning is in there in the green slot in this helm or headgear, because I also have run up that warlock tree for the random confusion up here, Bewitching Blast. It has a 10% chance to confuse non-boss monsters for 6 seconds. A confused monster acts as a hireling, at which point they get all the boosts that I have for hirelings. Augmented summons, past life druid ×3, they are on steroids at that point, even though they're not confused very long. What's this? Spell power boost out of the bottom of the half elf tree. Action boosts. Okay. Epic Destinies. I ran this in Sharadi so far, all the way. Nerve Venom is up to a 7% chance to paralyze, which has been triggering off of the Eldritch Blasting Chain. So there's another thing that can happen. The rest of this tree is only based on random whatever. 7% chance to inflict a random effect on your target. So there's always that. And there's always Colors of the Queen. Another random thing. Right? So when I'm not Eldritch Blasting, I am using Cold Light of the Moon, which counts as a cold spell, which will hopefully proc a 20% chance to proc a lightning strike. Let's see where I'm going with this. Moon Lance. There's another cold based spell. And over in Primal Avatar, Thunder Snow. Freezing hail and electric damage and whatever else. And it deals cold damage. It's a cold spell. And Stormcatcher. This is just Electric Strike. It will not, well, they also take 1d6 cold damage per caster level every 2 seconds. So I am not sure because I can't catch that in the log. If that 1d6 off of that Stormcatcher is also proccing extra cold damage. Or proccing the Electric Strike. So what I did is I just boosted the chances for the rest of the Storm Singer effect to go off, even though I already know that I could launch lightning, you know, my own little lightning storm randomly. This, see, I might even go into primal. Look at your cold, electric, and sonic spells have a chance to blast one target for an additional 1d6 plus 6 damage per caster level of the same type as the spell used. Really? So, like, if it can only proc once every 5 seconds, so there's another thing for more random stuff. If I went into the Primal Avatar Destiny Mantle, well, I'm in Sharadi. So there you go. I guess that's the best explanation I can give you. If I did it, it's like if I did just a straight Storm Singer, I might even go into Primal. Or just do Sharadi. That would be fun too. You don't have to mix like I do. I have fun trying to mix that up. Let's look at spells. What do I got? What is this? Here's my bard spells. There's that sound burst and the sonic blast, and then what? Invis and some heals. I have a little heal bank set up right here with all the stuff. You get a rejuvenation cocoon and a healing spring, even though I'm not even wearing anything for devotion power. The wizard spells are, what did I take? I took that force missiles, magic missile, and freezing bolt, a tumble, and night shield. But the warlock I've been trying to just mostly save it for damaging cold spells, which help out that lightning strike. Creeping cold, hell yeah. I took the sleet storm, but you got to make sure you have freedom of movement on, and I rarely use it. Even though there is an enhancement in there for, on the spell singer, if you are in you're no longer negatively affected by sleet storm, and while in any sleet storm you gain an additional lightning strike proc chance. But a lot of people don't like the sleet storm because everybody else they need freedom of movement to be in it. You know, so that's another way to go, but you know, I just like to be as random as possible. What else can we look at? I'm not even sure. Phalites. Yeah, I use this as loaded here, but caster levels capped capped at 27 by max caster level. 89 will. That's technically an illusion spell. So I think my conjuration for the tentacles is coming in at 91. No ship buffs. I have no ship buffs up there. Enchantments at 85. Evocation, I don't even know what that's. Evocation's the most important. What? Thunderstone snow is at 100 fortitude. So that can only get better in a quest or on Reaper. Yeah, alright. Down here on this bottom bank here, this is mostly all the buffs right here in game. You know, that just depends on how you play. Oh, look at that. Devotion, spell power, or positives at 705. Only a 17% chance to a critical on it. I have a free slot in that orb. Could just at least load in the spell power for it. So what are we doing? Going back to character sheet? I maxed out charisma on this when I started. So you could only start at 18 on half elf. And I maxed out. No, I put only intel at 10. Con at 18. Dexterity at 10. Strength dump. Wisdom dump 8. Epic Destiny feats. Epic Pack Dice. Epic Spell Power Cold, Electricity, Force, and Sonic. All those. Epic Feats Embolden. Epic Eldritch Blast. Wellspring of Power and Intensify. Scion of the Plane of Water. Get more cold spell power out of there in Universal, and more spell crit damage for cold. Forget the imbue dice, that's if you're melee. Oh, what am I doing here? Colors of the Queen, active, energy criticals for me. And interestingly enough, energy criticals also boost sonic spells. Power over life and death, a little bit more positive spell power. It's a divine stance. And skill mastery for the martial. Why did I take the Morning Lord? I don't know. I've been running around with the Morning Lord on, but it doesn't really even. Light and alignment spell power. Maybe I was going to go into that. All right. So you can see I have the half-elf dilettante warlock on, which is another 1d4 extra fire damage with attacks and spells, even though I'm already a level 12 warlock. In the enhancements tree, I boosted that up in here. Gives you extra charisma. And then when you do an action boost, I get more charisma. I get 3. And I boosted up all these other things. Improved spellcasting. 30 more spell points right there for the improved dilettante. And 5 more universal spell power up here for that. Look, I didn't even get into the healing amp on it. So even though it says don't do that, it's only one that'll give extra damage bonus on your attacks. Again, the fire damage procs off of just Eldritch Blasting or off of a web. A non-damaging spell. Doesn't matter. I'm trying to think of what else. The rest of those feats? Oh, good lord. Oh, get the Bardic Ballad. You want to sing that song if you're a storm singer to the rest of the party's members, because I think on melee attacks they get a chance to do an electric strike, as well as they get saves. Okay, there's the least dragonmark of the storm. You have to burn a feat for the first one. And then empower, enlarge, extend, heighten, maximize, and quicken. Half-elf special graces, those are over here. I just, for intimidate and bluff, that comes from being a half-elf. So I have improved mental toughness and mental toughness. Here's all the rest of that Carceri Storm and Warlock feats. Pact Magic, Creeping Cold gets added in. So it's another cold spell. I'm like, yeah, let's do it. You could also do Electrical Warlock. Maybe. If the alignment works out right. Even though cold should have been... Or, let's see, you could do the Sonic, the cold, or the Electrical, but the Bard Storm Singer procs on cold and Sonic spells. It's just a 20% chance for another lightning bolt. Bolts from the sky. So if I open up the plus sign, there is a thing now that shows your pack dice on here. So I'm at 22. Wait, Eldritch Blast dice is 14. And there you go. There's all the rest of the bonuses that I care about. Conjuration bonuses are... Wow. It's even higher than enchantment on this. So I use a lot of that web and the tentacles for CC. I think that's it. I think that's the rundown. I think that's all the information that I have. But why does that keep popping up? Create party. No. I don't know. I don't want to advertise. I'm doing a video. Reaper 4 Isle of Dread. Nope, stick with the video. So here's my little cycle. I get a Death Ward. I get Expeditious Retreat. I get Blur. Jump. I get Night Shield. And Tumble. No GH on this. I don't even think I took the quick haste, so I haste myself. Most of the time. And I'm gonna fire off that thing right away. Here's some mobs. This is the Greater Dragonmark of the Storm, coming in at 93. And I'm just gonna cast a web on that guy. You can see the fire damage came up. blasting with my hands. See that lightning strike just going off already? Still got a minute and a half left on there. There it goes. Just let it go. We gotta find some more mobs. And I didn't even use any clicky. No wellspring of power or anything. I just let it go. There's some guys. Oh, didn't even hit anything. That was just... It just shocked them. Just shocked them. Something shooting at me from back there. Just use Everds on them. Too bad I only get 3 mobs. And I think that'll be it. I mean, like I said, it's just my ideas, you know. You can also see there was the... Why is it hitting for 2,362 force damage? But that was cold, force, and Orc Looter for 207 points of acid damage. And then one of them guys in there got 615 points of fire damage, which I think is coming off of the warlock diletantte effect. And yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna fire this off again, just to see if we can get an ender set proc out of that. If I can run into some more the hordes of mobs that are in here. Who's shooting at me? There again, there's fire. Didn't look like it hit with acid. It might be dead before it even gets a chance to register it on these lower hit point mobs in the Slayer area. I just wanted to prove, I guess, that ender set was proccing on the rest of those strikes, but now I gotta wait for it to happen. Come on, where's everything? Oh, I hate this place. One more elemental. There's acid. It did not critically hit. Tentacles fails because you are bulky. Anti-magic zone. Oops. Moving over to chain. They're confused. There's a tar bubble that came up, so I'm gonna give him some buffs. Why not give your tar bubble some love too? Okay, how do I get out of here? Up here? Nope. Oh, come on. Where are you all hiding? Hi, guys. So now we're chaining. And this could be a problem because I think they're immune to some. They're healing them. Paralyzed. So really healing them from force damage. And I'm gonna fire off that lightning storm again. And wait a little. Come on, guys. There we go. So it's shocking stuff, but I don't know where they are. There. Well, I guess I'll just end the video here. Feel free to play however you want. This is easy for me, except for when we're in High Reaper. Really got to play with a good tank. But I don't really have to be so concerned about actually targeting a mob, and I can just, you know, play free. Hey, let me in. $14,000 and $13,000. Wish there were more. Anyway, I'm gonna end the video. Just have fun playing whatever you decide to play. Maybe that'll give you some more ideas. And good night.